So note down the second method in root finding techniques. Method number 2, false position method. False position method or regular falsy method. Regular falsy method. False position method or regular falsy method. Okay. So what is our aim? What is our objective? To find a real root. To find a real root of f of x equal to 0. To find a real root of f of x equal to 0. Okay. And to some extent the methodology is similar to that of bisection method, except in calculation of the Cn. Okay. So here also we will be finding two values a and b such that f of a and f of b are having opposite signs. Okay. So assume that, okay, let assume that f of x is continuous on an interval a to b, such that f of a into f of b is less than 0. F of a into f of b is less than 0. Okay, then definitely the equation has a root in the interval, open interval a to b. Okay, so I'm just again drawing a graph. Okay, so assume that a is here. Listen carefully. Let us say a is here. Let us say b is here. Okay, let us say again f of a is positive. Let us say f of b is negative. Okay, so this is a comma f of a. Okay, let us say this is b comma f of b, or shall we call it as a1 b1. Okay, so for the time being, okay, set a1 equal to a and b1 equal to b. Okay, so I will be calling it as a1 b1. This is a1 f of a1, b1 f of b1. Okay, okay, so let's say the graph is like this. Okay, so where is the exact root? The exact root is here, where the curve is meeting the x-axis. So let us say C is the exact root. Okay, now what we do, previously we generated the sequence of approximation to the root by taking the midpoints of the intervals. Okay, every time we selected a and b and such that f of a and f of bn is negative. Same thing will be doing here. We'll be selecting a new interval always such that f of n and f of bn is negative. But the calculation of the approximation is different. So what you do previously, you calculated the midpoint of the interval, but here what you do, you join the line. You join the line uh, of this chord, endpoints of the chord. Okay, so this is what is the endpoints of the arc? A1 f of a1 and b1 f of b1. So you join this chord. Sorry, you join this chord. A f of a1 and b f of b1. See where this line is crossing the where this line is crossing the x-axis. That is going to be your first approximation. So I will call this as C1. Okay, so see, this C1 need not be the midpoint. This C1 need not be the midpoint. So how to find out this C1? You know, okay, find out the line joining the, find out the line equation. Okay, joining these 2 points. In that line equation, you put y equal to 0, solve for x. That value of x is nothing but C1 value. Okay, next you compute f of C1. See whether it is positive or negative. In this case, f of C1 is negative. F of B1 is also negative. So we are not sure that there is a root in between C1 and B1. So you omit the C1 B1 interval, you select A1 C1 interval because f of A1 is positive, f of C1 is negative. Where is f of C1? See, this is C1. What is this point called? This point is called C1 comma f of C1. Do you agree? So for the next iteration, what you do, you rename this A1 as A2, you rename this C1 as B2. You rename this C1 as B2. Okay. Then what is this point called? B2 comma f of B2. Now again find out the join these endpoints of the arc. Okay. Then see where this line is meeting the x-axis. That point of intersection is going to be the next approximation. So this is going to be C2. Now can you see that C2 is a better approximation when compared to C1? The distance between C to C2 is much lesser when compared to the distance from C to C1. Did we get a refinement? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now again see the sign. Again see the sign of f of C2. In this case, f of C2 is again negative. F of A2 is positive. So for the next iteration, you rename A2 as A3. You rename this C2 as B3. Call this as a B3 f of B3. Again join these lines. See where this line is meeting the x-axis. That is going to be your third approximation, which is C3. Now as you see, as the number of iterations are going on, the sequence of approximations C1, C2, C3 and so on converging to the actual root. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the difference between the previous method and this method is, previously the approximations oscillated about the root. Sometimes if C is the exact root, sometimes approximation is to the right side, sometimes the approximation is left side. Okay, it may oscillate bit about the point. Whereas in false position method, the convergence is only from only on one side. Okay, either it will converge from left to right, or it will converge from right to left. In this case, you can see the convergence is happened from right to left. Can you see that? Okay, now can you tell me the formula for it? So let us find out the formula for C1. Okay, or you can write down the general formula. Okay, so what is the line equation joining find out the line equation, the equation of the line joining, the equation of the line joining an f of an and bn f of bn. Okay, it can be a1 f of a1 or a2 f of a2 and so on. Bn f of bn is can you tell me what is the 2-point formula? Y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. Y minus, what is y1 here? Y1 is f of a1, right? F of an is equal to m into x minus x1. What is m? M is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. What is y2? F of bn minus f of an divided by y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. That means bn minus an into x minus an. Do you agree? Now this is a line equation. In this line equation, we want the value of x when y is 0, because we are trying to find out the point of intersection of this line with the x-axis. On x-axis, y value is 0. Okay, so put x equal to, sorry, put y equal to 0. Put y equal to 0. Then what is your this one? So x minus an is equals to what is this? Can you tell me? Minus f of an into bn minus an by f of bn minus f of an. Now solve for x and simplify. So what is x? X equal to an minus f of an into bn. Let me write again. Minus f of an into bn minus an divided by f of bn minus f of an. Can you tell me the simplification? So what is x? It is nothing but an f of bn minus an f of an. Simple multiply these two. Minus bn f of an minus into minus plus an f of an, okay, divided by f of bn minus f of a. So what is the final simplification? So I will call this x as a cn, okay, cn. So can you cancel any two things? I think an f of an minus an f of an gets cancelled. So what is remaining is an f of bn minus bn f of an divided by f of bn minus f of n. So this is the formula. This is the formula to compute approximate root of the equation in regular falsy method or false quotient method. Do you understand? So previously an plus bn by 2 is the formula for the approximation. Bisection method, the formula for the approximation is an plus bn by 2. Whereas here the formula for the approximation false quotient method is can f of bn minus bn f of an by f of bn minus f of an. Okay, so calculation of the approximate root will take more time by using false quotient method when compared to the bisection method. It will be easier to write the program, that's why. Do you understand? Okay, so when you write a program perfectly, then whatever the function you give, within seconds it will generate the solution, right? So but manually it will take so much time to get the answer. Okay, but in theory paper you need to do the calculations using your normal calculator, scientific calculator. In CM lab the same thing you will be doing the program. Shall I proceed? Okay, so we'll just do only one problem. Okay, so all of you note down this problem. Find an approximate root of What is the cubic equation I gave you in the homework problem for bisection method? Copy that.
Cube minus 4x plus 1 is equals to 0. 4x plus 1 is equal to 0.
Using Degraaff-Halse method. In the interval 0 to 1 corrected to 2 decimals. Okay, so sometimes the interval will be mentioned. Okay, so in that case you have to take that interval and get the root which lies in that interval. Okay, so first of all we have to check whether the interval works for us or not. Okay, so what is the given equation? Given equation is x cube minus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. So assume that f of x equal to x cube minus 4x plus 1. Find out f of 0. What is f of 0? 1 positive. And what is f of 1? 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 minus 4, minus 2. Okay, so let me change the interval. In the interval 1 to 2. Just check whether it will work or not. What is f of 1? Two minus 4 minus 2 negative. What is f of 2? 9 minus 8 1 positive. Can you see that? So 0 is there, 1 is there, 2 is there. So f of 0 is positive. F of 0 is positive. F of 1 is negative. F of 2 is positive. That means there is a root in between 0 to 1. There is another root in between 1 and 2. Can you see that? If you take 0 to 1 as your initial interval, that will lead to one root. If you take 1 to 2 as another interval, that will lead to another root. Do you understand this point? Okay, so
Yes.
so in our case we have taken 1 to 2. You are asked to give the root in the interval 1 to 2. So apply bisection method, apply false position method by taking this as an initial interval. Okay, so therefore f of 1 into f of 2 less than 0, and f of x is continuous on closed interval 1 to 2. This implies that f of x equal to 0 has a root in between 1 and 2. Okay, so apply false position method. Okay, with a1 equals to 1 and b1 equals to 2. a1 equal to 1 and b1 equals to 2. Is that okay?
Yes.
Now write down the table. What is iteration number? Iteration number n, an. What is cn formula? an f of bn minus bn f of an divided by f of bn minus f of an. Okay, and then bn sines of f of an, f of cn, f of bn. So these signs will be helpful for us to identify the new interval for the next iteration. So iteration number 1. Now you see the formula requires the values of f of an, f of bn also. So unlike bisection method, okay, it is not sufficient to put only plus minus. You need to write down the values also. When you write down the values, that will be useful to substitute in this formula to compute the next approximation. Is that okay? So in this case, what is a1? a1 is 1. What is b1? b1 is 2. What is f of a1? f of a1 means what? a1 is 1, f of a1 is minus 2. f of a1 is minus 2. What is f of b1? b1 is 2, f of b1 is 1. Okay. Now substitute, use all these values in this formula and compute c1. And in the calculator, proper parenthesis is very important. You put a bracket for the numerator divided by another bracket for the denominator. Bracket divided by bracket, and whatever is there inside, how many parentheses are required, you put that many parentheses in the numerator. Okay, and tell me c1 value. One point 6667. Okay, 6667. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, now you substitute this c1 in f and tell me the value. That value will be useful. What is f of c1 value?
minus 1.036.
Minus 1.0356.
0356, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
036.
Minus 1.0369.
69.
Now identify the interval. Which interval? A1 C1 or C1 B1 for the next iteration?
C and B1.
C1 B1. Okay, so for the next interval, for the next iteration, C1 B1. What is C1? 1.6667. B1 is 2. Now copy the values here. Here minus 1.0369 and 1 here. Do you understand? So that you can use these four values to find out C2. A2, B2, F of A2, F of B2. A2, B2, F of A2, F of B2. Using these four, you find out C2. A2 F of B2 minus B2 F of A2 by F of B2 minus F of A2. For that, you require these four values. So because it is started with right interval, you will be seeing that every time you will be selecting right interval only, because as I said, convergence will be from one side. It will not oscillate. The interval will not change. That you can see. Can you tell me what is C2?
1.8364.
8364. Okay. So always make sure that your calculation is in between the two values. Okay. It should not be beyond the interval. Okay. So compute f of C2.
Minus 0.1528.
Again, you see, you are going to select a right interval, which is C2 B2. For the next iteration, C2 means 1.8364 and B2 is 2, and copy these values minus 0.1528 and 1 here. Compute C3. A3 B3 f of A3 f of B3.
One 1.8581.
8. Compute f of C3.
Minus 0.0172.
Now you can see the functional value is getting 0. That means our root is coming closer to the exact root. See, when C is the exact root, f of C will be 0. No. See here it is functional value is more than 1, but now it is functional value is coming closer to 0. That means the root is coming closer to the exact root. Now you can see it is again right interval. So it is C3 B3 1.8581. B3 is 2. Copy the values minus 0.01721. Use these 4 values to compute C4. A4, B4, f of A4, f of B4.
One 1.8605.
Compute f of C4. I think by next iteration we will be able to get.
Minus 0.0020.
Minus 0.0020. Okay, so again right half and right interval. Don't say right half, it is just right interval. So C4 P4 1.8605 2. Mm.
1.8608.
Okay, now we got the desired level of accuracy. Two decimals are equal in two consecutive approximations. Therefore, an approximate root of what is that equation? X cube minus 4xr plus 1 plus 1 equal to 0 is 1.8608 corrected to two decimals. Corrected to two decimals. Okay. Same problem you do it by bisection method. See how many iterations it is taking for getting two decimal place of accuracy, and what is the approximate root you got in bisection method. Okay, so in bisection method also for two decimal place of accuracy, these two digits will be there, 1.86 will be there. These two decimals may differ. Okay, so this is a problem on false position method. Okay, so